It's another edition of Big 12 softball here at Gell Miller Field. A showdown between the Kansas Jayhawks and the Brigham Young University Cougars. Boy, we've seen all kinds of fireworks so far in the first two games of this series. Kansas getting the Game 1 victory 6-4 with a late comeback that fell just a bit short for BYU. And then in Game 2, a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 7th inning as the Cougars get an exciting 4-3 victory. Scott Gerardo alongside Taylor Williams. And hey, let's get another crazy one tonight.
Exactly. It's been nothing short of exciting this weekend, and I expect another exciting game in today's matchup because they're going after who's going to take the series this weekend, and that's going to be huge for either side, so it's going to be a good one.
Well, Taylor, we've seen some incredible showdowns in this one, and Ella Boyer has just been fantastic for the Jayhawks from the plate. She has just been lighting up the scoreboard.
Started off hot with that double in Game 1, and then we saw from her last night even more of that home run power that she always brings. Hits an absolute monster of a home run last night for 13 home runs on the season. She's been 2 for 7 on the weekend and a big part of the offense for Kansas.
Really left no element of doubt on that home run, and she'll actually be in the lineup today at playing catcher. She's been the DP for the first two games.
It'll be fun to see her in that position as well today.
So Ella Boyer, who's just been fantastic for the Jayhawks, up against this BYU pitching staff. Injuries have been an issue throughout the season for Coach Eakins and this pitching staff, but over the last two games, he's got some great production.
And super impressive the amount of strikeouts that this pitching staff has been able to put together against such an explosive Kansas offense. Gianna Mares and both Haley Schuler have done a fantastic job. And last night we saw a lot of those ground outs from Haley Schuler, which set BYU up for some great double plays. They had 3 double plays in last night's victory.
It'll be a fun one today here in Provo, Utah. The rubber match between the Jayhawks and the Cougars. You're watching Big 12 softball on ESPN. Welcome back to Provo, Utah. Gell Miller Field is the site as the Kansas Jayhawks and the BYU Cougars wrap up their 3-game set. Jennifer McFalls, the head coach of Kansas, has got this Jayhawk team cruising this year, and they have been absolutely lights out in her 8th year. Now, she did have a setback last night, losing this game to BYU, but you know this Kansas lineup is really going to try to right the ship in this one tonight. But boy, we saw some fireworks in game number 2 of this series last night with just some impressive hitting from BYU, scoring 3 runs in the first inning and then adding that walk-off in the bottom of the 7th. Gordon Eakin, the head coach of the BYU Cougars, who has been here for so long in his 24th season with BYU. There's not a lot he hasn't seen, so walk-offs in the bottom of the 7th, that's no big deal for him. That's just another day at the office. Incredible coach and incredible history for BYU. Getting the start for the Cougars will be Jada Villegas, who saw some limited action in game 1 of this series. Spelled Madres for an inning, and then Madres was then able to return later on in the ballgame. So she will have an opportunity to go up against a very good Kansas Jayhawk lineup. Villegas on the season, coming in with an ERA just over 8, the left-hander trying to shut down a Kansas lineup that has just been dynamic this year, Taylor.
Yeah, and I'm sure she's excited to go up against them after getting roughed up a little bit in that game 1. She can be a really great asset for BYU, and they'll need her today after they've seen so many innings from Mades and Haley Schuler after the last 2.
So the starting lineup for the Kansas Jayhawks as we get ready to get this one started here at Gell Miller Field with the Kansas Jayhawks and the BYU Cougars. Presley Limbaugh will be the starting hitter for the top of the order for the Jayhawks. She had herself a great lineup as yesterday as she reached base all 3 times she was up. She'll be followed by Ella Boyer, Helly Kripe, Anna Souls, Flanagan, Bagshaw, Stafford, Amezcua, and Lindoff.
And some of those keys to the game, I mean, we've seen in this series, whoever scores first is the one who ends up winning the game. So I think it's going to be really important for Kansas, especially after the hard loss they took last night. And they actually hit the ball pretty well last night. Actually out-hit BYU 6 hits to 5 in the game, last night's game, and they had a lot of hard balls just hit right at BYU, so it's going to be big for them to find those holes in the defense today as they're looking for the 2nd win this weekend.
So Villegas takes the mound, and we're ready to get this thing started. An early start for this one, as we learned from Coach Eakins, not a noon start, 11:30, as technically a morning start here in Provo, Utah. Villegas, ball 1 to start, first pitch of the game. And Limbaugh digs in, the center fielder for the Kansas Jayhawks from Cooper, Texas. Waits for the pitch. And takes the strike, 1-1 the count. Villegas showing some speed on that one.
And since it is that little bit of an earlier start, the batter's box is actually shadowed a little bit right now, so the girls have to track the ball through the sun from the pitcher and then through the shade as it reaches them. Makes it a little bit tricky.
Villegas delivers the pitch. That's ball 2, 2-1 the count. And you have to be concerned about the speed of Limbaugh, because you know as soon as she makes any kind of contact whatsoever, she's bolting down that first base line. Here comes the pitch, and there is the contact, but Limbaugh is there to, or excuse me, it's able to be brought in by Townsend. She reels it in for the first out of the game. Townsend, who played first, actually is moving to 3rd, and Maddie Udall-Woolley is now the first baseman for BYU, seeing her first action in this series. Ella Boyer, number 75, with the home run yesterday, the double in game 1 at the bat. Here's the pitch, high, and ball 1. Ella Boyer has just been one of the best players in the Big 12 as a true freshman, 44 RBI on the season. Swing and a miss on that one. Villegas bringing the heat, and the count is 1-1.
And so awesome for her to have such a good freshman start. It's going to be cool to see her as she develops and gets even more used to the college softball world and see what she does.
Villegas with the pitch. Can't get the corner. 2-1 the count. So we mentioned Villegas had limited action in that first game against Kansas for Madres. Madres then came back in to finish the game. And another shot, but it will carry foul. And just over the fence. Good work by Lily Owens trying to track it down, but it does sail foul. And the count now is 2-2. Tell you what, Owens showing off that speed in the outfield.
Amazing that she's able to get all the way from her position in left field to the fence line on that left field side.
Full count, 3-2. Villegas. All low and away, and here we go. As Ella Boyer trying to get on base with a full count. Villegas, the pitch. And a shot, but it's up, it's high, it looks playable, and it's unable to be reeled in by the Cougars. Unfortunately, BYU allows the bat to stay in play as it was unable, as Acosta unable to track it down.
And balls like that are the toughest. You see first baseman, second baseman, and right fielder all crashing. You definitely would rather have second baseman or the outfielder take that because they have a better angle, but I also think they're battling sun a little bit right now. You can see Acosta has sunglasses on over there at second base.
So Boyer stays alive, 3-2 the count. The pitch, swing and a miss. Villegas with the strikeout. Out number 2 of the inning, and that's a statement by Villegas, striking out the best hitter for Kansas.
And finishes her off with a really good moving rise ball. Has to feel good for Villegas to come in and do that against one of the arguably best hitters for Kansas's lineup.
That'll bring Haley Kripe up to the mound, or up to the plate. The shortstop takes a pitch 1 ball, 1-0 the count. Kripe has had herself a heck of a season as well for this Kansas Jayhawk team. The senior from Indiana. It's the pitch, and it's ball 2. Kripe hitting .384 on the season, a .466 on base percentage. And she again has had a remarkable year. 99 at-bats this year, 38 of them have resulted in hits. A little conversation at the mound for Villegas. And you gotta like the way she started this game.
Oh, absolutely. And does a good job handling Ella Boyer, and now has to come again at Haley Kripe. These BYU pitchers really have to be on stat the whole lineup as they go against Kansas.
So Kripe settles back in. Villegas back at the mound. 2-0 the count as Haley Kripe battling Villegas to start this game. Villegas with the swing, or with the pitch, it goes off the net, and it will be 2-1. If nothing else, Kripe gave the dugout there for the Kansas Jayhawks, keeping them awake here in the morning with that ball off the net. Kripe set to deliver, or excuse me, Villegas set to deliver. Kripe makes contact, and the count now at 2-2.
I feel like it's been a weekend of hitting balls off your foot.
Yeah.
We should have started keeping track in game 1 between both sides. We have seen that happen so many times.
That goes off the calf a little bit.
And you don't ever really see them foul one off their foot and just take it like nothing happened. It's always bent over, hopping on their foot a little bit, have to walk it off, you know?
Yeah, I can't even imagine the pain on that one. Kripe brushes it off and says, let's go. Villegas set to deliver. Count 2-2. And Kripe laces one foul, and the count stays at 2-2. And you can tell Haley Kripe is going to make Villegas earn this with a lengthy at-bat here, trying to see everything she can from the Cougar pitcher.
And Villegas doing a good job on that last pitch, keeping it on that outside corner. She's really going to have to make sure she's working those corners as she goes against such a strong hitter.
There's the pitch, popped up and taken by the catcher. Kaya Fabella gets the third out of the inning, and no score after the top of the first. Bottom of the first is the Cougar offense up to bat when we come back. This is Big 12 softball on ESPN.
These days, there's so much to do and not enough time, even for the things that matter most. Well, at Deseret Book, we want to give you resources that help make the most of your time. That's why Deseret Bookshelf Plus gives you unlimited access to Deseret Book's entire audiobook library. So you can listen to Insights from a Prophet's Life while you cook, The Second Coming of the Lord while you drive. You can even get Come Follow Me insights while you exercise, ensuring that you always have time for what matters most.
When you see a guy that has had as much written about him, I think it's easy to just make it about AJ. And the thing I love about him is he empowers other people.
He started giving away sneakers, hats, shirt, t-shirt, name it.
When you see these charities he does, like with AJ, he's deep in the weeds. He cares about that stuff.
Everything we do at BYU begins and ends with our students in mind. The most important work we do is building our students spiritually and intellectually. Strengthening each student's faith and testimony in Jesus Christ has always been a part of BYU's mission. You've entered to learn, now go forward to serve.
Welcome back to another edition of Big 12 softball. No score after the top of the first. Now the BYU batting lineup comes up to face Chloe Barber, who on the season, the 5'11" junior from Minnesota, 5-3 on the season, dealing out an impressive 2.79 ERA with 43 strikeouts on the season. She is an absolute force for this Kansas Jayhawk pitching staff. Up to bat for the Cougars as Acosta, the hero in game one with the walk-off, or in game two, the walk-off home run last night in the bottom of the seventh inning to get the Cougars the win. And I'm sure she's still riding high after that one. Acosta will be followed by Owen, Schuler, Brittingham, Morrow, Tavita, Townsend, Udall-Woolley, and Fabella.
And getting into those keys for the game for BYU. Again, on either side, momentum early has seemed to be the key this weekend. BYU scoring first in last night's game propelled them to be able to, I think, have some more confidence out on defense. And then their tight defense helped them out as well. We talked about all those double plays that they had, and I think continuing that is going to be huge for them in today's game.
Cougars scored 3 runs in the bottom of the first last night in their win against Kansas and did not score until the bottom of the 7th with the walk-off home run by this batter, Danica Acosta. Here comes the pitch from Barber. There's the foul ball, goes into the stands, and the count remains 1-2. Barber is a strikeout machine on the season. And you can see the early control she has. Acosta, though, not intimidated, lays it down, a fly out, and it will be the first out of the inning. Line ball taken easily by Kripe. 1 up, 1 down for the Cougars.
And if you're Acosta, you can't be too mad about that at bat. Still having a hard-driven ball, happens to go right to Kansas's shortstop, Haley Kripe. But anytime you hit the ball hard, you can go back to the dugout feeling good.
Lily Owens, the speedster, and also showing power as well at the plate. And she hits it deep, but it will be taken by the center fielder, Limbaugh, able to nestle down underneath that one, reel it in, out number 2. Another lot of contact, unfortunately, doesn't result on any bases. So 2 up, 2 down for the Cougars, and that will bring Haley Schuler, the starting pitcher in last night's game, to the mound, or to the plate, to face Barber, who is at the mound. Ball 1.
And I almost wonder what BYU's strategy is going to be against someone like Barber, who is that strikeout pitcher, throwing more strikeouts than innings pitched this year. BYU not really waiting to see a lot of pitches. They're attacking early in their 2 at-bats thus far.
High pitch gets away from Boyer. But with no runners on, no harm, no foul for the Jayhawks. And the count is 2-0. Schuler threw 100 pitches last night in that win for the Cougars. And how do you get rewarded for a win and 100 pitches? Well, you bat third in the lineup the next day for the Cougars. She has been an all-everything tool for Coach Eakins.
And super unique to have a pitcher that also bats in the lineup. I mean, we do see it, but it is rarer. A lot of times those pitchers are pitchers only. But Haley Schuler showing her athleticism and ability on both sides of the field.
3-1 count. And Schuler will take the plate after the walk. So Barber suffers a first inning walk. Schuler goes to first, and that will bring Elo Brittingham to the plate. Elo Vea Brittingham, freshman phenom, trying to recapture some of that freshman magic here in this series against the Jayhawks. Takes the first pitch strike, or excuse me, ball, 1-0 the count.
And even though there's 2 outs, a big opportunity for BYU. Barber does not walk a lot of people, and she just gave them a freebie. BYU really looking to capitalize on that.
Brittingham, did she go around? Yes, 1-1 the count. I believe it's actually 0-2. Scoreboard has it 1-1, but it's actually 0-2. I thought that was a first strike. So 0-2 count. Brittingham again underneath this one. Stafford settles in, takes the fly ball, and 3 up, 3 down for the Cougars. No score after 1 as the Cougars unable to push anyone across the plate. And the Kansas Jayhawks will try to do that when we come back. This is Big 12 softball. Hey, remember, ESPN is now the home of MLB.tv. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLBTV. It is Game 3 between the BYU Cougars and the Kansas Jayhawks. A rubber match because last night, what a game. It is a walk-off home run, Danica Acosta, in the bottom of the 7th inning. As the Cougars score 3 in the first, don't score again until the 7th. But what a dramatic finish here in Provo in game number 2.
And it really was the home run ball that scored all the runs last night. 7 total runs were scored, but 6 came from home runs between the two teams. It's crazy how much of a difference home runs can make in ball games.
Anna Souls at the plate, facing off against Villegas. Delivers the pitch. Souls takes the strike, 1-1 the count. Souls, the first baseman for the Jayhawks, drove in the first run for the Jayhawks last night on a fielder's choice in the 4th inning. And the count now moves to 1-2. Souls on the season hitting .337. Waiting for the pitch. Takes a cut at that one, sends it foul. I gotta imagine players were a big fan of that net when it came up at the dugout.
Yes.
Because that one would have been all kinds of problems.
Absolutely.
Souls digs in against Villegas. Here's the pitch. Chopper, easy out at first for Udall Woolley. So the Jayhawks have yet to put anybody on base so far. It's been 4 up, 4 down for the Jayhawks, as Flanagan will take her first cut at this one. Udall Woolley playing first, their first action in this series for the Cougars. Did not play in game 1 or 2 on Thursday or Friday. Strike 1.
And Jada Villegas doing a good job and coming in throwing lots of strikes. She hasn't really got behind in any count so far, which I think is going to be very important for her moving forward against Kansas.
Villegas at the mound. A little high and inside, 1-1 the count against Flanagan. Flanagan, an impressive batting average, .417. 4 home runs on the season, but and not a lot of at-bats, but enough where she's really caused some damage for some opposing pitchers.
And we've seen her square up the ball nicely a few times in this series.
Plays third base for the Jayhawks. Has a quick conversation at the mound with Villegas. And they're going to clean things up there at the mound a bit.
So kind of interesting, between when we were transitioning, the field crew ran out and was adjusting something where she's planting her foot. And now I think, again, they're about to work on that same spot. I don't know exactly what's going on, but something that Villegas is not liking.
Yeah, it looks like they've really tore up that part where those pitchers kind of plant that foot. And I got to imagine, for a pitcher, you don't want to mess around with that. So much power comes from that plant leg.
And you don't want to be twisting your knee, twisting your ankle, anything like that.
Well, and the season that Coach Eakins has had with the injuries, he wants to go well out of his way to make sure that his pitchers are protected in every way, shape, or form, because the injury bug has been an issue for BYU this year.
And you can imagine 2 games that they've played that the dirt probably is softer in that spot from all the planting that the pitchers have done the last 2 days, and maybe just not holding up very well in today's 3rd game.
And a good job by Villegas, if she's the one that indeed alerted the crew, or if it was Eakins himself, but saying, hey, look, you know what? We're not liking what we're seeing out here. Let's take a moment, let's fix it up, and let's get it right. As this BYU grounds crew, one of the best to do it, says, all right, let's take some time and make sure that we can protect these pitchers. Villegas off to a nice start in this one. Has not allowed a base runner for the Jayhawks, and a powerful Jayhawk lineup, and Villegas so far is off to a nice start.
And sometimes you worry about little pauses like this. Is this going to slow Villegas down a little bit, or is it going to spark some momentum for Kansas? it's kind of just that weird waiting game. And luckily, no one's on base for BYU right now for her to have to come back and deal with. But you still don't know how that changes the dynamic of the game.
So the grounds crew earning their paycheck today, making sure that that mound is as up to par as it possibly can be. Villegas also helping out with some direction. Early start in this one. Next up for the Cougars, they'll hit the road, no big deal. They'll take on number 2 ranked Texas Tech, April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in a 3-game set in Lubbock, Texas. As for the Jayhawks, they'll return home for a 3-game set as they'll welcome in Arizona State in Lawrence. Again, those games coming up on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Looking at the extended schedule for BYU, they'll take on Utah Valley and then square off against Houston, Utah Tech, and then Iowa State. So, tell you what, it doesn't get much easier as Utah Valley, just down the road from where we're at right now, is having an impressive season. Now the Kansas Jayhawks, we mentioned that series coming up against Arizona State, and then they'll square off against Baylor, Missouri, Central Florida for a 3-game set there, and then a 3-game showdown against Iowa State. This Big 12 is absolutely just loaded. 4 teams inside the top 25, 2 more receiving votes just outside the top 25. So you know you've got a really great conference on your hands. And, you know, BYU, there's been a bit of an adjustment coming from the West Coast Conference to the Big 12. Now their 3rd year in this conference, and they've been, for the most part, up to snuff. This year, not so much in terms of a win-loss record, but Coach Eakins, that has a little bit more to do with injuries than really anything else, because last year they were phenomenal in the Big 12.
And it honestly prepares them so much better for the end-of-year conference tournament, and then to be able to go compete at regionals, playing against these top-notch teams. Sure, it's tougher and may not look as good on their win-loss record, but ultimately it's preparing them so much better for postseason.
So the grounds crew really making sure that that's as safe as it possibly can be for the pitchers, not just Villegas, but Barber on the other side for the Kansas Jayhawks. And I gotta imagine when you're, you know, coming down with a lot of power on that leg with those cleats, I'm surprised that area doesn't get torn up a little bit more than what we saw.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should do play-by-play on the guy with the square shovel and the broom.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job working left to right with that broom, hands it off.
Well, they didn't even have pitching coach Pete Meredith was taking a few sweeps at it, trying to get it figured out.
Now our guy comes in with the square to try to level it off. Here comes the foot, the brush, and we're close to getting back underway.
We have a little in-sync dance party happening.
I know, right?
From BYU's outfielders out there in center field. They're grooving out there while we're all waiting.
Hey, tell you what, if you got a little spare time, you got some good tunes, why not?
Looks like to be led by Brittingham.
Leading the way, yeah. All right, we're back underway. Villegas signs off on it. Coach Eakins signs off on it as well. Oh, now we'll take another quick look at it. And the umpire says, all right, let's go. So the count is 1-1. Flanagan has been patiently waiting at the plate. Villegas set to deliver. Still no score. Top of the 1st inning. 1 out for Flanagan and the Jayhawks. The junior from Morrison, Oklahoma. .417 batting average for Flanagan. Villegas with their reworked mound set to deliver. Can't get the corner on that one. Count moves to 2-1. Flanagan waiting the pitch. Villegas delivers. Chopper taken. Throw to first. And Townsend, who's playing 3rd base, gets the 2nd out of the inning. Townsend, the quick throw to Udall Woolley. Townsend had been playing 1st base, but Good job on that one.
Absolutely, that was a great snag over there. And that ball coming in so hot, she definitely has time to set her feet and make that throw over to first.
So Kansas still looking for their first base runner in this game, as Campbell Bradshaw, the senior from Topeka, Kansas, stepping to the plate.
And you can imagine Coach McFall's a little bit frustrated over there. That was a well-hit ball, but then snagged by BYU, and that was kind of the story yesterday for Kansas too. They just weren't able to find those gaps in BYU's defense.
Bagshaw fouls this one off. 329 average on the season. 6 home runs. He's only struck out 13 times on the season. Waiting for the pitch. And that one is ball 2. Villegas doing a good job here at the start of this game, not allowing base runners, although she is at pitch number 30 as we're still in the second inning. That one line foul and goes into the parking lot. Let's hope somebody has a little bit of insurance on their windshield. Did you park over there? I did. I think
I did too.
Yeah. Bagshaw waiting for the pitch. Villegas delivers and mishandled, will allow a base runner. Unfortunately, Acosta unable to get the glove down to reel it in, and that will allow Bagshaw to get to first place, or first base on what should have been an easy play.
Yeah, Acosta's so solid over there. But I think where she got herself in trouble, she set her feet a little bit early. If she'd kept moving through that ball a little bit more, it wouldn't have ate her up so much.
So, the error given to BYU, and Kansas has their first base runner of the game. And that brings Caden Stafford, the junior, hitting .395 on the season. Villegas gets the strike. 1-1 the count. And I got to imagine when you have 2 outs, you're unable to get out of the inning. You got to make sure you don't have a little lack of focus, especially from your pitcher.
Absolutely. Yeah, Villegas is really going to have to dig deep and go after this next hitter. And can be frustrating as a pitcher too, because you could have been bang bang out of that inning, but just something you have to work through. You make mistakes as a pitcher, you know that your defense is going to sometimes make mistakes.
A line shot, and that will advance the runner to second. So Villegas, after what should have been a throw out at first, gives up the hit to Stafford, and just like that, Kansas, trying to make BYU pay, has runners on first and second with 2 out.
And a very nice lined up ball by Stafford. Can't ask for more if you're Kansas on that.
Amezcua, who has been playing catcher, now the DP for the Jayhawks in this game, kind of switches roles with Boyer, who is now catching for the Jayhawks tonight. Amezcua digs in, runners at first and second for the Jayhawks here in the top of the second inning. Stafford picking up the first hit for either team in this game, as Bagshaw was able to reach first on an error. Strike one, 1-1 the count. Much to the applause of the BYU faithful here at Gell Miller Field. Another Chamber of Commerce day today here in Provo, Utah, as can't ask for much better weather. But it is interesting because the last 2 games, as you pointed out, that we've had here have been in the evening, and so the shade has been going the other way. Here, it's your batters that are in the shade and your outfielders now looking up in the sun.
And that sun really can be brutal with these 11:30 noon start times that BYU has. Second base and right field are really going to be fighting that a lot today.
Amezcua with the count even at 1. Chopper and the quick throw to first, and BYU gets out of the inning. So an error leads to another hit, but overall, no harm for Villegas. Still scoreless in this one. BYU at the plate when we come back. This is Big 12 Softball on ESPN.
What if your brand could huddle with 65,000 fans at LaVell Edwards Stadium, or make a buzzer-beating impression in the Marriott Center? When you become a corporate sponsor of BYU Athletics, you're not just advertising, you're aligning with excellence, loyalty, and a fan base that bleeds blue and rallies behind our partners. Whether it's game day signage, digital reach, or unforgettable promotions, BYU puts your business in the starting lineup. Email sponsorship@byu.edu. Put your brand in the game and experience the power of partnership with BYU Athletics.
Building a legacy isn't just about winning. It takes drive, commitment, and the will to tackle adversity. Be a part of this proud history with a BYU card from Mountain America Credit Union.
I went with my style checking and a debit card.
And I have a rewards credit card.
Cosmo?
He has both.
Continue the legacy. Get your BYU debit or credit card exclusively at Mountain America.
Some news and notes around the Big 12 as Arizona knocks off Baylor 10-2. Arizona just lights out from the plate in that series with 3 home runs. Oklahoma State gets the victory over Utah 2-1. And how about this one? Central Florida knocked off Houston 16-1. All 16 runs, Taylor, coming from 8 home runs in that series. Bottom of the second we go. No score here between the Cougars and the Jayhawks. Haley Morrow at the plate for the first time, hitting .294 on the season. And the count moves to 2-0.
And Haley Morrow has had herself a nice weekend. Some great base hits, some doubles, and then she's the one who hit that 3-run home run yesterday to put BYU up in the first inning.
3-0 the count. Morrow patiently waiting, see if she can draw the walk from Barber. As Barber looks to deliver the pitch against Haley Morrow. There's the strike. As Barber stays alive, count now 3-1.
And Morrow doing a good job patiently waiting at the plate, making Barber throw her strikes.
Morrow connects, but it will sail foul. Over the fence. Her home run in the first inning last night went off the right field foul pole, which allowed her to get that home run. This one, she tries to pull it left and just can't keep it in play.
And there's no doubt when Haley Morrow steps in the box that she swings the bat with some power, hits the ball deep a lot of the time.
3-2 the count. Barber delivering the pitch. Morrow fouls that one back as well.
And I think what makes her tough as a hitter too is she can take the outside pitch and go with it, but also turn on something inside. So it makes it a little trickier to find a good spot to throw to her if you're a pitcher.
Barber with the pitch, and Morrow picks up the walk as she will get to first base. Second walk given to BYU by Chloe Barber. And that brings Rita Tavita to the plate for the Cougars.
And neither team really taking advantage of opportunities given to them so far in this game. BYU had a runner get on from a walk last inning, and then we just saw Houston, BYU had an error and they got a runner on, and so far no one has capitalized on something like that, and that's what these teams need to do, find that execution to score runs when they get freebies and runners on base.
Tavita takes the first pitch strike and then swings on pitch number 2, and now down in the count, 0-2. Tavita, the freshman from right here in Utah, just up the road in Salt Lake City. Looking to stay alive, down 0-2. And she'll take a seat in the dugout. 3 pitches, swing away on the third, and a strikeout as Tavita goes back to the dugout, as we mentioned, and another strikeout by Chloe Barber on the season. That's her 44th on the year.
And we know we're gonna probably see strikeouts from her today. She definitely is that more strikeout pitcher, so BYU is really gonna have to protect the plate when they get 2 strikes on them.
Bree Townsend fouls that one back. Townsend, the sophomore, up against Chloe Barber. Townsend watches that one comes in, but sees the call strike, and it's 0-2. So now you're seeing Barber getting it, taking advantage in the early pitches in these at-bats.
That's why I think BYU is gonna wanna be going in there looking for their pitch and swinging early, because they don't want to get down in counts against her.
Pop up and easily taken by Flanagan. So the second out of the inning. Runner still remains at first, and it will be Maddie Udall-Woolley. Her first at-bat in this series. Udall-Woolley did not play in the first 2 games, and now will have a chance to go up against Chloe Barber. Swing and miss on pitch number 1. Now Barber's starting to get into a groove.
Yeah. We have Haley Morrow over there for BYU on first base, and doesn't steal bases very often, but if there is anyone else besides Lily Owens on BYU's squad that would steal a base, it would be Haley Morrow. She's 2 for 3 on the year. And is BYU gonna be risky and go for something like that, or play it safe and keep her at first and rely on their hitters now that they're down 2 outs?
And with Barber starting to click from the mound, you may want to take some chances. If nothing else, just try to keep her off her game. Well, that'll take her off her game. A nice shot. Morrow will stay at 2. Udall-Woolley, welcome to the series as she lines one through the gap, and BYU stays alive after the single, and runners now on first and second with 2 out.
And she timed that up really well, a good shot in that 5-6 hole. And now BYU, runner in scoring position, threatening to make a play in this game.
So Kansas had runners at first and second with 2 out. They were unable to move anybody across the plate. Now BYU in the same situation, as Kaya Fabella, the catcher, at the bottom of the order, ready to take a cut at this one. Her first at-bat of the night. Fabella evens the count, 1 apiece. Really been impressed with her throughout the series, not only at the plate, but behind the plate as well as the catcher for BYU. Ball knocked down nicely to try to stay alive as Ella Boyer trying to avoid the pass ball.
And so important that they knock down balls like that, because if she misses that, runners, have 2 runners in scoring position rather than just the 1.
And Morrow was looking to run too. Fouled off. Count now 2-2.
And a little bit of a defensive swing by Fabella on that. It's one of those that starts coming so inside you want to hold back, but it was just right on her hand. So even with a partial swing, she's going to make some contact.
Barber, the pitch, 2 outs. Again, fouled back. Trying to really work inside on her.
Yeah. And inside and high, it'll be interesting to see if Barber comes in with another rise ball just a little bit higher, see if she can work her up the ladder.
The freshman Fabella trying to get some runs across for BYU. Still no score. And she views a ball come in. 3-2 the count. And we've got a full one here in the top or the bottom of the second.
And 3-2 count, 2 outs. Runners are moving no matter what on this pitch.
Fabella fouls it off again. Again, she's making Barber work for it. Somebody came away with a nice souvenir.
Yeah, it's so funny when a ball's fouled back like that and someone catches it and everyone cheers for them.
3-2 the count. Bottom of the second, 2 out for the Cougars. The freshman, Fabella, at the plate. Barber delivers, and Barber gets the strikeout. Nope, it's a walk, excuse me. I thought he called strike. Nope, it's bases loaded with 2 outs.
Wow, props to Fabella.
Yeah.
A real battle of an at-bat, and to walk away against Barber with a walk like that, huge for BYU in this inning.
So here comes the hero of the game last night, Danica Acosta, with the home run in the bottom of the 7th inning to win the game for BYU, and she'll have an opportunity to have another heroic moment in this game. 2 outs, bases loaded for the Cougars.
And Danica Acosta seeing the ball really well. Her first at bat, she lined out to shortstop, but it was a nice, well-hit ball.
Acosta fouls that one back. Now the count is 0-2. So Barber thinking she got a strikeout against Fabella, now trying to regroup against Acosta, who can make you pay in a hurry. And Acosta, the dribbler, Kansas covers first. No, it's safe. It's safe. And BYU scores a run. Nicely done by Acosta with the speed to get to first to avoid the 3rd out. And the Cougars get a run in the bottom of the 2nd.
And so good, Danica Acosta, to take off out of that batter's box and kind of make something out of that swinging bunt type situation.
So Barber's going to meet with her teammates at the mound. The bases remain loaded, and Lily Owens will be up to bat for BYU. But Acosta, tell you what, you can't get a play much closer than that. And I guarantee Jennifer McFalls is taking a look at that in the booth, deciding not to replay it or not to review it. And it will be 1-0. BYU leading with Lily Owens and bases loaded. High pitch, 1-0 the count.
And hits like that can be super effective because it catches the defense off guard, because it's almost like a bunt. So second baseman having to come a long ways to try and make a play on that. Just ended up working out in BYU's favor.
As Souls had to come in and grab it, Bagshaw had to cover. And a pop-up in play. Out number 3 as Acosta is able to push a run across, and BYU leads by 1. 1-0 our score. Top of the 3rd coming up here at Gell Miller Field in Provo, Utah. Gail Miller Field, it's BYU, it's Kansas. The Cougars get the first run of the game in the bottom of the second, but the Jayhawk Bats have been pretty quiet so far in this game, but it seems like it's a matter of when, not if they wake up. 70 doubles on the season, that's first in the Big 12. They're hitting .361, that's second in the Big 12. When the hits come, they usually come in bunches for the Kansas Jayhawks, and Villegas and the Cougar defense trying to keep them at bay. Up to the plate, Linduff, bottom of the order for the Jayhawks, as Villegas set to deliver. Fouled away by Linduff. Went 0 for 2 from the plate yesterday, including a strikeout. Trying to get some momentum going here for Kansas. Villegas lines it up. Here's the pitch. Outside, and the count is 1-1.
And Kansas really going to have to bring it if today's game is going to follow the trend for the weekend. It seems to be whoever scores first is the one who's going to take it. So they're really going to have to bring it if they want to change that trend.
Ainsley Linduff. Ground ball taken nicely. Throw to first. Udall Woolley is there to collect the throw from Acosta, and one down.
Jammed her up just a little bit on that inside, and Danica Acosta doing a good job staying down and through that pretty routine ground ball.
Acosta let one get away from her earlier in the game. She was not about to let that happen again. Top of the order for the Jayhawks with Presley Limbaugh. Again, she reached base every time yesterday for the Jayhawks. Really does a great job setting the table for the Jayhawks throughout the season. But today, 0 for 1. And going toe-to-toe with Villegas, who's had a nice start to this game as we're now in the top of the third. Cougars leading 1-0. Strike there, and just like that, Limbaugh down in the count 0-2.
And for a speedy player like Limbaugh, just an interesting shift in defense for BYU, pulling Townsend, who's at third base, off of the line so far and keeping Haley Morrow so deep at shortstop. A lot of times we see them crowd in on players like that, but they've chosen, based on her trends of where she hits the ball, to line up a little bit differently for her.
1-2 the count for Villegas. We mentioned played 1 inning in that first game against the Jayhawks. Spelled Madres, and Madres then came back in. Cougar fans thought they may have gotten a strikeout there, but it is ball 2, and the count now is 2-2. Limbaugh. Eyes up Villegas. Villegas delivers. And a strike gets by Acosta. And that will be the first hit of the inning for the Jayhawks, as Limbaugh able to get to first. And that's a tough play for Acosta, just unable to rally.
Yeah, I don't think an error on that play by any means. And honestly, because she got a glove on it and deflected it over to her center fielder, Brittingham, it could have very easily turned into a double if she doesn't get a glove on it. So a good job knocking it down by Danica Acosta.
One aboard for the Jayhawks. 1 out. And Ella Boyer, the home run hitter, up to plate for the Jayhawks. Not a lot of number 75s out there, but she rocks it proudly. Here's the pitch. Line to the outside, and it is gone. Another home run by Ella Boyer. The power on display for Boyer and the Jayhawks. A 2-run shot, and the Jayhawks lead 2-1.
And her second home run in this series. She just has some serious power. And after going down with a strikeout her last at bat, I'm sure she was hungry for something like that against Villegas.
So Villegas gives up the 2-run shot. She had been very good at the mound until that shot. And Villegas looks over to the dugout and said, "Yeesh, that one got away from me a bit." And she will leave the game, and we will have a new pitcher coming in for BYU. And is that Schuler?
I believe it's Gianna Modest.
Yeah, it is Madres, yeah.
Yep.
Couldn't quite see a number. Kansas now leading 2-1. And we mentioned home runs have been really generating all the runs scored in this series.
And that was the 14th home run on the year for Ella Boyer. Absolutely incredible for a freshman. And it's just so dangerous for BYU if any base runners get on. And then to have Ella Boyer and then Haley Kripe coming up to bat, you just have to be at your very best if you're a pitcher for BYU.
So in game number 1, Madres got the start. Villegas came in for an inning to spell her. Here, it was Villegas getting the start and Madres coming in the top of the 3rd. Madres, 5-7 on the season. ERA of just over 7, as the Cougars now trying to get a little bit of magic back with that starting or with that pitching. And I thought for the most part, after the, and outside of that home run, I thought Villegas had herself a good outing.
Yeah. Yep, she did a nice job for BYU today, but I think BYU wants this game really badly. They want a conference series win, and so they're going to do anything they can. I expect to see a lot of pitching changes between both sides to just do whatever they can to pull out the win and take the series today.
Gianna Madres on the mound for the Cougars. Madres delivers, Kripe swing and a miss. That's a good way to introduce yourself to the game. Haley Kripe, the shortstop for the Jayhawks. Her second at-bat of the game. .38 hits on the season for Kripe. Here comes the pitch. High and inside, 2-1 the count. This is the math I kind of like. This is her 100th at-bat. She has 38 hits, so she's hitting .380.
Easy peasy when you look at it like that.
Here's my Utah State math on display. Kripe laces it, and it is gone. Another home run for Kansas. Back-to-back shots as Haley Kripe sends it deep, and she has a solo shot, and the Jayhawks now lead 3-1. Back-to-back shots for the Jayhawks.
And we've talked about it all week. This offense for Kansas is so good, and BYU having to bring back in pitching staff that Kansas has already seen. They're really going to have to dig deep if they're going to be able to slow down Kansas at this point.
So Kansas, we talked about coming into this inning and showed the graphic of the hitting prowess of this team, and we mentioned that, the bats have been pretty quiet the first 2 innings, but they're due to wake up, and boy, have they ever. Ground ball taken by Udall Woolley, gets back to first, force out against Souls, and that'll be out number 2 of the inning. But the damage done here with back-to-back home runs, and Kansas will see Flanagan step up to the plate.
And a 3-1 lead is still within reason for BYU, but they definitely want to stop the bleeding and finish off this inning with 1 more out and no score if they can. Because we know, Kansas wants to run with an inning if they can and have those big innings.
September Flanagan at the plate for the Jayhawks. Madres delivers, fouls it off, and it will go into the stands. 3-1 the score with back-to-back shots. Boyer and Kripe hitting number 2 and number 3 in the lineup, and that's kind of the power you expect at that part of the lineup. And boy, has Kansas delivered. Flanagan waiting for the Madres pitch. Swing and a miss, and that ends the inning with the strikeout. But Kansas gets 3 across on back-to-back home runs. Ella Boyer and Haley Kripe with 2 shots, and just like that, the Kansas Jayhawks lead 3-1. Bottom of the 3rd we go. This is Big 12 softball on ESPN. Kansas leading BYU 3-1. ESPN, now the home of MLB.TV. Stream every out-of-market game live or on demand using the ESPN app. So many great opportunities to be a part of ESPN. Blackout and other restrictions apply. For more information, go to ESPN.com/MLB.TV. All right, the Cougars now looking to respond. Haley Schuler, the starting pitcher in last night's game, at the plate, going up against Chloe Barber. Barber bringing the heat there, swing and a miss, 0-1 the count. Schuler drew a walk, her first at-bat in this game. And now the count moves to 0-2.
And BYU knows that Kansas is going to hit the ball. And basically, they're going to just have to out-hit them because Game 3, Kansas has now seen all of BYU's pitching staff, and they're going to have to work really hard to keep Kansas on their toes. But I think they can combat that by really bringing the bats to life and scoring a bunch of runs.
High and inside, Schuler sees the count move to 1-2. Well, I'd really like to see a gun on Barber and see the speed that she's pitching at.
Yeah, she's bringing the heat.
There's the pitch, chopped up, and will go out of play into the Kansas Jayhawk dugout. And the count stays at 1-2. Barber with the pitch, and 2-2 the count. Schuler looking at the umpire, said, I didn't go around. He's like, I know, I got you. Here's the pitch. Schuler fouls this one back as well. Count stays at 2-2.
And we've seen a little bit of a trend off of Barber, these BYU hitters. popping up the ball a little bit more, and I think it's because Barber's bringing in that rise ball, especially on that inner part of the plate. BYU is going to have to make an adjustment and keep their hands high and drive through the ball and not let themselves get underneath it as much.
Trying to drive the ball right there is Schuler, but again, can't keep it in play and fouls it into right field. So we've been stuck at this 2-2 count for a while as Schuler doing her best to stay alive. There's the pitch. And the count now moves to 3-2.
And BYU has done a great job of drawing walks this game. They already have 3 so far against a very good Barber that doesn't really walk players. So BYU being very patient at the plate today.
And a pop-up taken easily by Souls. And that's the first out of the inning.
And hard to know exactly where that ball was pitched, but I believe it would have been a ball, and Haley Schuler could have taken her base on that. We'll get a closer look. I mean, right there on the edge, so maybe she was just a little bit early. It definitely was one she needed to be swinging at. But a good spot from Barber against Haley Schuler in that count.
Ilovea Brittingham at the plate for the Cougars. The count for Brittingham. Barber with the pitch, swing and a miss. Count 1-1. Kansas leads this game 3-1. BYU with a dramatic Game 2 victory after Kansas won Game 1. Rubber match here in Provo, Utah. Pitch a little high for Barber, 2-1 the count. One down here in the bottom of the third. Barber pitches. And now the count moves to 3-1. You know, you mentioned, I think you brought up a really good point. BYU, not the most wins on the season they would have liked, only 11 wins on the year, but you get a win today, and that gives you a series victory, and I think that would go a long way against a really good Kansas team for momentum going into a big series against Texas Tech.
Absolutely, especially Kansas sitting 4th in the conference standings right now. That will help BYU have that confidence going forward as they continue conference play.
Brittingham draws the walk, now on first, and that will bring Haley Morrow to the plate for the Cougars. So Brittingham doing a good job getting to first, and a shot, will it drop? Yes, it will. Brittingham rounds second. We'll get to third, stay there. Morrow stays at first, runners at first and third. A nice shot by Morrow that just got past the outstretched hands of Linduff.
And BYU will take a ball like that. And actually, Brittingham, some great base running. You can see she goes as far as she can. And because there's a dive out in center field, even if that ball's caught, Brittingham would have had plenty of time to get back safely to first. But then because she was so close to second base, she's able to tag second and make it all the way to third.
By the way, that was Limbaugh, who just came up a hair shy coming in from center field and really laid out, nearly got the catch. But instead, it leads to first and third for base runners for BYU. Rita Tavita will come to the plate. Conference going on at the mound with Coach McFalls and her squad, with Kansas leading this game 3-1.
And you can imagine McFalls having a conversation with Barber right now. Throw strikes, make BYU earn what they're getting, because she's already thrown 4 walks this game. And that's Brittingham over there on third base that could very easily turn into a Cougar run. And she's wanting to see more strikes out of Barber like she traditionally does. She throws lots of strikes, and we know that, but maybe not on the top of her game today.
So Haley Morrow, a nice hit against Barber. Third hit of the game for the Cougars. Rita Tavita at the plate. Swing and a miss. And if you're Tavita with one out and a runner at third, you're just trying to keep this thing in play. There's the pitch. Comes in high, 1-1 the count.
And I'm interested to see if BYU is going to be risky right now with runners on first and third, if they're going to try and cause little issues over at second base and see if they can bring Brittingham across, or if they'll just try and straight up steal second base on Kansas.
Another inside pitch, and the count moves to 2-1. Chloe Barber has had a really great season for the Jayhawks, trying to settle in a bit of a jam here in the bottom of the third with runners at first and third and nobody out, or one out, excuse me. And now the count moves to 3-1.
And even though Kansas is up 3-1 right now, you can definitely feel the pressure coming from BYU as they're trying to earn those runs back and at least tie it up right here.
Rita Tavita with Brittingham at third, trying to push her across, and fouled off. And the count is now full at 3-2. Tavita's had her struggles at the plate, but all that can be forgotten if she's able to score a run here. Instead, she draws a walk, and it's now bases loaded. So Tavita takes first. It'll be Morrow at second, Brittingham at third, and the bases now loaded for Bree Townsend.
And sometimes this can put Kansas in a little bit of a better spot because now the force is in play and that infield can suck in a little bit and take away the play at home or even turn a double play on the right hit ball.
So Townsend, swing and a miss on pitch number 1. Bases loaded, 1 out.
And you can imagine Townsend really wants to make something happen right now, but she needs to be picky on those pitches she's swinging at. That one was a little bit up and out of the zone for her.
The pitch, Townsend pops it up and fouls it off. And now down in the count, 0-2. Bree Townsend, 0 for 1 from the plate, 3 for 7 from the plate overall in this series. Has 1 RBI in the previous 2 games. Townsend pops this one off. It will not stay in play.
And we're seeing a lot of those foul balls popped up. And again, just to reiterate, if BYU can get something hard on the ground, that's going to be optimal in this situation because then base runners at least have a chance and it gives BYU more of a chance than a little pop-up like we've been seeing.
Townsend with a long shot. There's the tag. Brittingham will score. Exactly what you wanted from Townsend. She scores the run with the long fly ball. Stafford's able to collect it for the out, but it does score Brittingham, and the Cougars now within a run. Score 3-2.
And a beautiful adjustment from Townsend. That ball was up in the zone. She kept her hands high and was able to manufacture that sacrifice fly ball for BYU and bring them a little closer to that 3-2 score that they are chasing.
So Townsend gets the RBI, and that brings Maddie Udall-Woolley, who had a hit in her first at-bat, and boy, she would love one here. 2 down, bottom of the third, 3-2 our score. Kansas leads by 1. Udall-Woolley sees the pitch come in. Ball 1, 1-1 the count. Maddie Udall-Woolley did not play in the first 2 games of this series. Big moment here. Swing and a miss. Picks up strike 2, 1-2.
And you may wonder why Haley Morrow didn't get to third on that sacrifice fly ball, but the ball was hit so deep by Townsend. Kansas knew that there was no play at home, so then the next person they're going after is Haley Morrow at third, so she has to stay safe at second base on a hit like that.
Udall-Woolley pops that one up, fouls it off. Another parking lot shot. And settles in, down in the count, 1-2. Outside, evens the count at 2 apiece. Udall-Woolley digs in. Laces that one foul. Ever so close to keeping that in play. And the count remains 2-2.
And this is one of those innings that BYU would love to run away with a few more. Barber has given up them 2 walks for them this inning, and they'd love to capitalize on that and score more than just the 1 run.
Another foul ball goes off into the parking lot. Runners at first and second. Udall-Woolley, bottom of the lineup here for the, actually not, Fabella is next up at bat. But Udall-Woolley trying to score another run. And again, launches this one back, fouls it off. She's seen it well, just can't seem to get that connection she wants.
Yep. They all need to make that little adjustment of keeping their back shoulder from dropping a little bit and driving through that ball, just like we saw Bree Townsend do in the previous at-bat.
There's the pitch. Another foul. And we stay at 2-2.
And that one was fouled back as well, but a much better swing from Maddie Udall-Woolley on that one. She kept her hands high and was right there on it. And we know the trend, the more pitches you see, the more likely you are to get a hit. So could see something big from her right now.
There's the pitch, swing and a miss. Barber gets out of the inning. She gives up 1 run, but the Jayhawks still lead by 1. 3-2 our score. Off we go to the top of the 4th inning. It's a big one between the Jayhawks and the Cougars. Big 12 softball on ESPN.
Hi, I'm Carla, founder of Big Billy Turf and the creator of Effortsville by Carla. From snowy winters to hot summers, our turf is designed to handle Salt Lake's unique climate. I started this company because I wanted something that was better than what was out there. Turf that actually works for real life, especially for your kids and your pets. My dog Waffles is my toughest critic, and she approves. So if you're ready to stop fighting with your yard, start loving it, Effortsville by Carla is only available at Big Billy Turf.
Research at the University of Kansas improves lives worldwide. As a leading geology research organization, we do more than just study rocks. My team's world-class data helps farmers operate more efficiently so that they can save money and water. We take to the skies to reveal underground natural resources, and we test well water to ensure that communities can rest easy with each drink. Every day, KU breakthroughs create a stronger, safer world for you.
Welcome back to Gale Miller Field. Kansas leads by 1, 3-2. Coach Gordon Eakins, head coach of the BYU Cougars, kind enough to join us. Coach, you give up those 2 home runs in the 3rd, but able to respond with that 1 run in the bottom of the 3rd. Talk about the mentality of your team trying to overcome some adversity.
Well, I think we've played well in this series up to this point, and they're an excellent team, excellent hitting team, and it was nice to get one back there and keep this game tight and give us a chance to win in the late innings. They're fighting hard.
They really are. Bree Townsend, a nice sacrifice fly to score that run for Brittingham.
Yeah, but we've left, that says 4 runners on base. I think we've left 6 on base, so we got to do a little bit better job on that.
You got it. Thanks, Coach.
Hey, thanks.
Coach Gordon Eakins, as BYU gives up those 2 home runs in the top of the 3rd, but respond with a run of their own. And this game is obviously close. We knew it would be, and I anticipate we'll see another one coming down to the wire. He says his team's playing well in this series, and it's hard to disagree with him. After a win in Game 2, a close loss in game number 1. It seems like ever since Kansas jumped out to that 6-0 lead in game number 1, BYU has just kind of settled in and played some really good softball.
Yeah, they've done a really good job. And I've loved the way we talked about at the beginning of the game, but the BYU pitchers have stepped up. I mean, we talked about the injuries that BYU has gone through and had to rely on some different people going through their season, but I think they're getting to that point where those pitchers are believing in themselves and knowing that they can hang with teams like this.
Long fly ball, will it stay in play? No, it will not. Another home run for the Kansas Jayhawks. Campbell Bagshaw gets the home run. Rita Tavita tried to make a play on it, but it was just a hair over the wall, and Kansas gets another home run, their 3rd of the game.
And she got just enough of that one, but like we saw, it just barely snuck over the fence. Rita Tavita doing her best to track that ball in the sun. And she actually loses her glove over the wall right there. I mean, if there's a place to hit a home run on a day like this, right field is where it's at, because that sun makes it so tricky to grab a ball like that.
A fan has made his way behind the fence, grabbed the glove, hands it back over to Rita Tavita. And you can say Rita was like, I couldn't see it. And this is, you know, the time of the day. And you mentioned you played games where you play that noon, 11:30 start time, and the sun's going to be an issue for these outfielders.
Yeah, because it may have been a different story. That ball hit to left field. I think maybe could have been robbed by BYU, but just a tough one to have to grab out there and right.
But props to Campbell Bagshaw getting the home run to start the 4th inning, and Kansas leads 4-2. Now at the plate, Stafford for the Jayhawks. For Bagshaw on the season, her 7th home run of the season, 26th RBI. Pitch outside by Madres.
And we just had, right before that, an illegal pitch. I don't know exactly what happened, but then Gianna Madres has to go down 1 ball in the count.
2-0 the count. Madres delivers, fouled off by Stafford. And the count now moves to 2-1. Madres gave up a home run last inning and now has given up a home run in this inning. Count now moves to 3-1. The pitch and the walk. So Stafford takes the base, and Madres is going to have a conversation with some teammates trying to right the ship. BYU does not have the deepest of bullpens right now. The pitching staff has just been worked over this year with injuries.
And I'm sure Made is frustrated with that at bat and having that illegal pitch called, because then that took one away from her, having to work with it.
So she will take an exit, and now Haley Schuler will take the mound. And Schuler, she threw over 100 pitches last night.
Full 7 innings last night.
She went the full 7. How difficult is that for a pitcher to come in on that on very little rest to try to take things over here in the top of the 4th?
I mean, I'm sure she is a little tired from yesterday, especially as she's probably building that endurance throughout this season. But softball's a little bit different in baseball, as these girls can really throw a ton of innings as long as their, mechanics are right and they're keeping themselves healthy. I expect her to be able to come in and do a good job. It's just a matter of Kansas has seen her several times, so that's going to be tricky to try and fool them.
So taking a look at the Kansas bats on display in this game, it really all started with Ella Boyer, who had the 2-run shot in the top of the 3rd inning. So she gets the home run, and then she's followed up by Haley Craig, and she goes yard on a home run. At that point, it makes the score 3-1. BYU able to add a run, and then in the top of the 4th, as you just saw, Campbell Bagshaw goes deep over the outstretched mitt of Rita Tavita. And just like that, it's 4-2, Kansas leading, and Haley Schuler will now take over, the third pitcher of the game so far for the Cougars.
And it's hard to defend home runs, so BYU's got to do a little bit of a better job keeping the ball in the park, where at least they have a defense that can work for those pitchers and make some outs and make something happen for them.
We mentioned, Taylor just mentioned, Schuler went the complete game, lay the bunt down, throw to first, and the out, but that does advance the runner to second. So first out of the inning for the Cougars. And it will bring Linduff to the plate. And now a runner in scoring position is Stafford. Got the national anthem as the baseball game coming over on the other side.
Yeah, almost feels wrong.
Everybody feels a little uncomfortable playing softball while a national anthem's going on. Could be, throw to first and in time. Advance the runner to third as Linduff moves the runner to third. That's Stafford. And so now 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning, and the runner at third.
And Haley Morrow did a good job on that ball with a runner at second. Stafford kind of crossing in front of her vision and then having to continue tracking the ball. She made it look easy out there and got a nice routine play for BYU, so they can now have 2 outs.
Presley Limbaugh now at the plate for the Jayhawks. Top of the lineup for the Jayhawks. They've gone through it twice so far in this game. Limbaugh hitting just over 400 as everybody's going to wait for the high note to be hit in the national anthem. There it is. Well done.
Yeah, I think the umpires feeling as we were feeling. It's kind of hard to be playing the game while you're listening to the national anthem right behind you.
So the umpire says, all right, there we go. Limbaugh at the plate. Haley Schuler, the pitcher. Limbaugh 1 for 2 at the plate today.
And we talked about it before. We know Kansas is going to score runs, but BYU would help themselves out a lot if they can minimize and get out of this inning with just giving up the 1.
Runner at third is Stafford for the Jayhawks. 2 out. And Limbaugh at the plate. Count even at 1 apiece. Haley Schuler went a full 7 innings yesterday, now in relief. Third pitcher of the game for the Cougars, and we're still in the top of the 4th. Lay down the hit, gets past the shortstop. It scores a run for Kansas. So for the second time tonight, a hit by Limbaugh scores a run, and now Kansas extends the lead to 5-2.
And that's when you're BYU, it's hard to be in the shift that they're in, because Haley Morrow playing so far up the middle, if she's playing a little more straight up, but you just have to take that chance when you know the trends where people hit it. But a good job by Limbaugh finding that hole.
So 2 runs scored here in the top of the 4th, and don't look now, Ella Boyer, who had a home run just an inning ago at the plate. Ella Boyer struck out her first at-bat, and then you could tell that was not something she was pleased with, and went yard on her second at-bat. A 2-run shot, which got the scoring going for the Jayhawks. Boyer at the plate, sees the pitch come in, 1-1 the count. Haley Schuler giving up a run. That was the first run scored by Kansas that did not come courtesy of a home run. Boyer steps out of the box.
Haley Schuler calling that timeout, wanting to make sure she's on the same page as her catcher.
And a dribbler, and mishandled That keeps the play alive. And going into third is Limbaugh. Miscommunication by BYU, and that allows Schuler to get to, or excuse me, Boyer to get to first.
Balls like that are tough because anytime your third baseman can cut the ball off, you want her to. But in that scenario, Townsend couldn't get there enough, so then ends up deflecting off of her glove when it really would have been better for Haley Morrow to take that ball.
So runners at first and third, second error of the game given to BYU. And still 2 outs. And Haley Kripe at the plate. She had a home run in her last at-bat. Pitch coming in. 1-0. Kripe 1 for 2 from the plate today. And of course that one being a big one, a home run in the third inning. We're still in the top of the fourth. Kripe fouls this one off, 1-1 the count, as Haley Schuler just doing her best to try to get out of this inning.
Yeah, cannot emphasize enough that BYU needs to minimize the damage right now and try to get out of this inning and then go to work with the at-bats.
Schuler doesn't get the corner. 2-1.
And a good knockdown back there by Fabella. That gets by her, and it's another Kansas run with a runner on third.
So runners at first and third for the Jayhawks. Limbaugh at third, Boyer at first, and Kripe at the plate. One hops the pitch, and that will allow Ella Boyer to get to second, uncontested. So now 2 runners in scoring position for the Jayhawks with 2 outs, and Kripe ahead in the count, 3-1. Haley Schuler delivers the pitch, and Kripe fouls it off. Now the count is full at 3-2. The count. Kripe, 12 home runs on the season, 1 coming just an inning ago for the Jayhawks. Schuler with the pitch. Kripe, swing and a miss. And the strikeout gets Schuler out of the inning. But 2 runs given up by the Cougars, and the Jayhawks lead 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. It's Kansas leading in this one. You are listening to Big 12 Softball on ESPN. Kansas leading in this game. Jennifer McFalls, the head coach of the Kansas Jayhawks, kind enough to join us. Taylor and I were talking about it's only a matter of time until these Kansas bats start to wake up, and boy, did they, with 3 home runs over the last 2 innings. What have you seen from your squad?
Well, we've needed every one of them. You know, it'd been nice to have some runners on in a couple of those, but we'll take them. You know, it's a tough day on a day like that today, like with a rubber match. So every run matters.
Boyer and Kripe back-to-back home runs, and I know that they've been talked a lot about their offense, but what have they meant for your team, both on the field and in the dugout as well?
I mean, Kripe is just a natural leader. She's just the heart and soul of this team. Ella Boyer's a freshman, and she's just fallen right in place with that as well. You know, they're just two great humans on and off the field, and they affect everybody around them. So, you know, they keep this team really close-knit together.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Bottom of the fourth we go. BYU down 5-2 our score. It's been home runs on display. We mentioned Boyer and Kripe. Campbell Bagshaw also a home run in the top of the fourth. Cougars at the plate, fouled off by Fabella. Bottom of the order for the Cougars. And Chloe Barber, who's given up some walks in this game, pitch count at about 78, but for the most part has been dialed in. Popped up and taken by the center fielder. Lindoff runs in, collects the out, and one down as BYU now gets back to the top of the order with Danica Acosta.
And we've talked about it a few times, just that adjustment that BYU needs to make. The rise ball spin that Barber is putting on the ball, BYU really has to focus on hitting hard ground balls and getting their hands on top of it if they're gonna make something happen against such a strong pitcher like Barber.
Acosta shows bunt. Count moves to 1-0. It was funny listening to Jennifer McFalls, the coach of Kansas. She said, we're gonna need every one of those runs. And she knows over the drama they've seen over the last 2 days, that's probably the case.
Yeah, BYU is definitely here, and they're here to fight. They want to defend their home fields, and they can feel the closeness of a series win, which would be huge for them, so you know they're not going down easy today.
5-2 the score, Kansas leading by 3. And this one will sell foul. And the count now at 2-2. One down here in the bottom of the fourth. BYU looking for their first Big 12 series victory. And this is laced in play, and Acosta will have the hit, the single, as she gets great contact, and the Cougars have a runner aboard.
You know, it was just a matter of time for her to get a hit in today's game. She laced one up nicely in her first at bat, and then I guess had that swinging bunt hit that she got, but I'm not surprised to see a well-hit ball by her find a gap. She's really seeing the ball well. We saw that last night with that walk-off home run of hers.
So Chloe Barber gives up her 4th hit of the game, and that brings Lily Owens at the plate. You mentioned Coach Eakins, who we talked to, not thrilled with his team leaving runners on base, and that is something that you know he's going to be keenly interested in, as Acosta now at first. 5-2 the score, Kansas leading by 3, bottom of the fourth. Lily Owens at the plate, Acosta at first. There's the strike, 1-2 the count to Owens. And Barber looking for out number 2 of the inning. And another shot and taken, and that will force Acosta back to first. Thought that one was going to get down, didn't tag, was nearly at second when Stafford was able to reel it in, so unfortunately Acosta has to go back to first.
And if you're Lily Owens, can't be too mad about that well-hit ball to left field. You wondered if it was going to sneak over the head of Stafford, but didn't end up doing so. But still a great quality at bat and a quality hit from Lily Owens.
And again, aggressive running by Acosta, because you're right, if it goes over her head, then she's able to score. Instead, 2 down. Acosta stays at first, and Brittingham at the, or excuse me, Schuler at the plate. Schuler came in as the DP, and now has been forced into a pitching role after the first 2 pitchers have been taken out. And Schuler gets the hit. The grounder finds the gap between the 5 and the 6. That advances the runner. Runners at first and second, 2 out.
A very nice hit for Haley Schuler. BYU needed that. Now have 2 runners on. I mean, they themselves would like a little bit of that home run ball right now.
Down 5-2, and what better way for Brittingham to get her season going than a shot here. Elovea Brittingham at the plate. Pitch just crosses the plate. 0-1 the count. Elovea Brittingham gets underneath this one. Linduff gets underneath it as well. And the out, and that ends the inning. So the Cougars had runners on first and second. Brittingham unable to bring them home, and the score remains 5-2 with Kansas leading by 3 over the Cougars here at Gell Miller Field.
The power of we is all for one. It's all for you. It's always there for you. It completes your circle. It says you've got a team even when you're out there alone. And with Intermountain Health in your circle, you'll always have the care you need to live the healthiest life possible. That's the power of we. Intermountain Health.
I'm free running down the field, and I roll over, and I couldn't get up. My teammate hits me in the helmet, goes, "Come on, get up so we can celebrate." I said, "I can't." Sometimes when we get injured, it slows us down, allows us to take in or process life. You can't own the things that aren't your fault, but you can own the things you can control. In the end, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do with it? The choice is yours.
So off we go to the top of the 5th inning with Kansas leading 5-2, a 3-run lead for the Jayhawks. 3 runs scored in the 3rd inning. Limbaugh able to get to first, and then it was Boyer, the 2-run shot over right field. And so Boyer gets the home run. Next hitter, well, that's Haley Kripe. And what does she do? She goes yard. Back-to-back home runs for the Jayhawks. They scored 3 runs in the top of the 3rd, add another home run in the 4th, and now the Jayhawks lead 5-2. And now at the plate is Souls. Anna Souls, 5 runs scored by the Jayhawks. 4 of those 5 runs scored via the home run ball. Only thing Jennifer McFalls has been complaining about is that there weren't more people on base when those home runs were hit.
Yeah.
1 2-run shot, the other singles. Count moves to 2-0.
But like she said, you'll take them wherever you can get them.
Yep. Anna Souls from League City, Texas. 2-1 the count. Hitting 330 on the season. Haley Schuler delivers the pitch. And Souls watches the strike come in, evens the count at 2 apiece. Schuler threw 100 pitches yesterday as the shot goes to right field, and it will be a stand-up double for Souls. Actually does slide into second. Nice throw by Tavita to try to keep her honest, but Souls gets the double, and just like that, the Jayhawks have a runner in scoring position.
And great timing, great cut on a ball like that. It's going to be a lot for BYU to keep trying to slow these hits down, but if they can just break them up a little bit and not allow Kansas to get on a run, I think that's going to help BYU out a lot in the long run.
September Flanagan now at the plate. Throw to first in time. Great job by Townsend. The throw to Udall-Woolley at first, and BYU notches their first out of the inning.
A really fantastic play by Townsend, her whole body reaching over to grab that backhand, and she does a good job. We see this all the time where players don't get their feet set all the way and end up having a bad throw, but Townsend played that perfectly.
How hard is that when you're hugging that left field line to get your body turned around and make a good throw?
And you have to make a good hard throw too, because your momentum took you the wrong direction, and you got to throw the ball hard enough to catch the runner at first too, because softball's just so quick.
Last time Bagshaw was at the plate, she hit a home run. Her 7th of the season. One down here in the top of the 5th inning. 2-0 the count. Bagshaw got that home run off of Haley Schuler. In fact, the 3 home runs in this game came off 3 different pitchers for BYU. Campbell with the chopper, throw to third in time. Get the force out at third. That will allow Bagshaw to get to first. But the scoring threat, at least for now, is denied by the Cougars.
And so heads up of Haley Morrow to go ahead and take that out. She had to see through that runner, but picks it up quick, and an easy tag out at third to get that lead runner for Kansas. Such a good heads up play. Haley Morrow so smart out there on shortstop.
Runner at first. Nice job by Acosta getting underneath a hard shot. Gets it over to Udall-Woolley, and the Cougars get out of the inning. So the Jayhawks had scored 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, but go scoreless in the 5th. Still lead by 3. 5-2 BYU at the plate when we come back. Big 12 softball on ESPN. Back here at Gell Miller Field, Big 12 softball, Kansas leading BYU 5-2. Let's take a look at these standings. BYU, after this game, will head to Lubbock to take on Texas Tech. How about the Red Raiders? 32-2 on the season, 9-1, ranked second in the season, followed by Baylor. Arizona ranked 13th in the country. They're 25-8. This Kansas Jayhawk team, though, not far behind at 24-10 and 5-3 in conference play. If they're able to hold on, they'll move to 6-3. Oklahoma State, Utah, Iowa State, Central Florida. It's a good year for the Big 12, certainly.
And it really would be great for BYU to kind of upset that a little bit if they can get a win today and take the conference series from Kansas. Coming into it, you wouldn't expect they're the ones to take the series, right? Especially with, you know, the slower year they've had and don't have the win-loss record that they would like. It would be huge for them.
Morrow at the plate for the Cougars. Shortstop for BYU. 20 RBI, 6 home runs on the season. Cougars trail in this game 5-2 here at the bottom of the 5th. Morrow fouls that one back. Now the count 1-2. Morrow steps in. Chloe Barber closing in on 100 pitches. That was number 94 on the game, and the count is even at 2 apiece. BYU trying to generate some kind of offense, make Kansas sweat a bit, coming down the stretch in this game. High and inside. Brushing Morrow back a little bit, 3-2 the full count. Brushbacks are a thing in baseball. Are they a thing in softball too?
I mean, I would think so.
Here comes the pitch. And a high shot, but it will be an out as Limbaugh able to nestle down underneath it, and it's out number 1 of the inning. We'll bring Rita Tavita to the plate for the Cougars, hitting .288, and her bat's been pretty quiet in this series. Love nothing more than for her to catch fire here in game 3 of this 3-game set.
Yeah, there's no better time like the present, and she could really make a big difference even though she's been quiet.
How about that? She hits it deep, but not deep enough. Stafford able to nestle down. Good contact made, and in some ballparks it may have gone, but not this one, as it just hung up in the air, and just like that, Stafford able to reel it in.
And head coach Eakin talked about it earlier. BYU has just left an incredible number of people on base this game. Eight left on base. 8 potential runs that could have come across for them. Just not doing the best job at executing when they have runners in scoring position in today's game, which is just unfortunate for BYU.
Bree Townsend at the plate, 2 down for the Cougars, 0-1 the count. Now the count moves to 0-2. Townsend, who played first for the first couple of games, has done a great job at third base for BYU in this game today. Lines that one foul. Lands in about the 5th row here at Gail Miller Field. And Barber ready to deliver. Now that one gets pushed left, again foul, and the count stays 0-2.
And Barber, as this game has progressed, has done a better job of not putting BYU on base with those walks. The innings that BYU has scored is when she was allowing those walks and freebies to happen, but she's tightened that up a lot the last few innings.
Barber with the pitch. Townsend, good contact, and it finds the gap. Townsend rolls through first and will slide into second base. Townsend gets the double to keep the Cougars alive in this inning.
Ball on the outside corner, makes a great swing on it. Townsend had a good at bat earlier too with that sacrifice fly she hit. It was a well hit ball to left field. She's making a good difference in today's game.
At the bat in the field as well, as the runner will come in for BYU. And that will be number 22 for the Cougars.
Yeah, Miranda Mansfield.
So Mansfield, the pinch runner, at second. Udall Woolley at the plate. And the Cougars trying to generate a little bit of offense here, thanks to Bree Townsend's double.
We saw Udall-Woolley with a nice base hit earlier in today's game, but then Barber got the best of her with the strikeout, her last at bat.
That one comes in hot, swing and a miss, 1-1 the count. Udall-Woolley watches this pitch come in. And the count now 2-1. 5-2 the score. Bottom of the 5th inning. BYU trailing by 3, 2 outs, runner at second. Udall-Woolley makes some slight contact to that one. The count will move to 2-2.
And I think that may have tipped off her bat and got the home plate umpire, Robert Gonzalez.
Oh, he's feeling that one. So there's the tip. Ooh, right underneath the chin.
And they have that chest protection on, but you can imagine that still takes your breath away.
Yeah, that can't be fun. So I think he gets up, goes over to fellow officials and said, hey, can we pretend like we're talking while I try to catch my breath here a little bit? BYU staff comes out, you good? He says, I'm good. 5-2 the score, 2-2 the count. Udall-Woolley trying to keep this inning alive for the Cougars. Runner at second. And, ooh, caught watching, and that ends the inning with the strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts, Udall-Woolley caught looking, and Barber gets out of the inning. That brings us to the top of the 6th when we come back. 5-2 our score. Kansas looking to get a win in the rubber match between the Cougars and the Jayhawks. BYU and Kansas. Kansas got the Game 1 victory in this series, 6-4. BYU gets the walk-off home run in the 7th inning to get the Game 2 victory. The rubber match so far has been all Jayhawks. Coach Eakins mentioned in our conversation back in the 4th inning, not pleased with players left on base. Right now that number is 9. And when you're down by 3 runs and you have 9 people left on base, that doesn't take long to do the math on that one.
Absolutely, could make a huge difference in what the score looks like of this game. But BYU just hasn't capitalized when they've been given the situations and the opportunities to do so.
So here comes Schuler at the mound, going up against Amezcua. Amezcua laces this one deep, and it will find the gap, and Amezcua will have a stand-up double. Amezcua shouts out to her dugout. How about that? Amezcua, The DP in this game, after playing catcher the first two, gets a nice shot and gets the double.
And off the bat, I mean, that one was one of those where you wonder if that's going to make it out of the park. She had some good power on that ball. Brittingham did a good job getting the ball in quickly, but Amezcua able to make it pretty fairly easily over to second base for that stand-up double.
Kansas Jayhawks, as they now lead this game 5-2. Ava Wallace now into the game for the Jayhawks at the plate. Ava got some time in last night's game. And the count 1-0.
And coming in as a pinch hitter is always so impressive. It's tough to come off the bench and put yourself in a ball game.
Line to first, quick out. Udall Woolley able to corral that. Gets the force out, and it also keeps the runner at second. So Paisley Limbaugh, now the top of the lineup for the Jayhawks. Haley Schuler set to deliver. The pitch from Schuler. As, boy, you know, you look at this series, and obviously we're going to talk about Boyer and the home run, Kripe and the home run, and what went on in the game last night with Acosta and the walk-off home run. As the ball can't be corralled, and it will be a run scored. And just like that, another double by Limbaugh. As the doubles continue to pile up for the Jayhawks. And I was just going to say, the story of this series, there's a lot of stars, but let's not overlook Limbaugh, who has been fantastic at the plate. And as I said that, she just sneaks in a double.
And Lily Owens, I'm sure, just so frustrated that that ball popped out of her glove. She made a great effort to go catch that, was right there, and it just didn't stay in her glove.
Base on time on the pitch. BYU's challenging that she left early with their first review. So under further review.
Oh, now Kansas got in trouble with this in yesterday's game on a review. Right now the score is 6-2, but we're gonna see if perhaps the runner left a little too early.
And Amezcua was the one who hit that double, but Youngblood was the one who came in and is on second base for this questionable play.
And we'll take another look at that. Yeah, Lily Owens is, boy, she's got to be kicking herself. She's going to make that play 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah. But if she had left early, like they're trying to say that she did, then that takes away a run and adds an out for BYU.
Yep. So this could be a critical replay. BYU is able to successfully challenge the same situation, I believe, in yesterday's game or Thursday's game. They all kind of blend together.
Yeah.
and they were able to get the out there.
Oh, that's so close. Because she just can't be completely off the base until the ball has left the pitcher's hand.
So the ruling here, for those that are new to some of the softball rules, that essentially you can't leave the base until the ball leaves the pitcher's hand.
Yep. And as soon as it's out of her hand, you're free to be off the base. But from a naked eye perspective, it's so hard to see that.
After further review, the call on the field stands. Runner left on time. It's BYU's first challenge. They have one remaining.
So, Coach Eakins 1 for 2 on those reviews in this series. As the play stands, the run scores, and it's 1 out. Top of the top of the 6th inning, and the score is 6-2. And that will bring Ella Boyer back to the plate. Boyer, who started the scoring in this game with a 2-run shot back in the 3rd inning. Chops that one up, That keeps the runner at second, 2 outs.
And a big out for Haley Schuler. It's hard to keep hitters like Ella Boyer and Haley Kripe inside the park, so getting an out of them is huge for BYU as they're looking to finish out this inning and get to work with the bats.
So 2 down. Kripe, who also had a home run in that 3rd inning, at the plate for the Jayhawks. And she pulls that one inside the left line. It will score another run. And Kripe with a stand-up double. 3 doubles in this inning, and that scores the runner. Limbaugh crosses the plate, and now the score is 7-2.
And that ball was just laced down that third base line. Luckily, it didn't have enough of that curve to go into the corner of the field over there. It actually popped off the fence pretty nicely for Lily Owens to be able to keep her at 2 and avoid the triple.
Here comes the pitch as Haley Schuler, who pitched a phenomenal game last night. And now the bats have woken up for the Kansas Jayhawks. Anna Souls at the plate. And Schuler delivers the pitch. Gets the strike, and the count 0-2.
And even with this little run that Kansas is going on, there's not even anybody in the bullpen warming up for BYU right now. The pitching is just a tough situation for them, and they just have to do the best with what they have.
That one laced right to Acosta, but it gets past Acosta, and that will score another run. As Ella Boyer able to cross the plate, that was Kripe who was able to cross the plate. And just like that, now the score moves to 8-2.
And I think Danica Acosta caught on her heels a little bit on that one. Probably will go down as an error, but we'll see if they end up choosing to mark it as a hit. But a well-hit ball that just didn't get a playmate on it, which really hurts BYU.
Right now it's labeled a hit for the Kansas Jayhawks. September Flanagan now at the plate. Runner at first for Flanagan. Things starting to get away from BYU. Kansas certainly starting to flex here over these last 4 innings. 3 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th. Went scoreless in the 5th, but have added 3 more runs here in the 6th. Schuler with the pitch and gets the strike. 1-1 the count.
And not an error earlier on in this inning, but if Lily Owens could have kept that ball in her glove out there, you wonder what damage would have been avoided if they had just that one more out to work with.
So 2 down, 1-1 the count. Flanagan sees the pitch come in. Ball 2, 2-1. Haley Schuler, her 38th pitch of the game. And now 3-1. High and inside on that one, and Schuler's got to get it dialed in here, trying to avoid giving up a walk. The pitch. Flanagan looking for the gap. She'll find that and more. A home run by September Flanagan. The 4th home run of the game. A 2-run shot as September Flanagan sends it deep. As the score now 10-2, and Kansas up by 8.
And she got all of that ball and has to feel good after going 0 for 3 in her previous at-bats to come up with a home run. She's really got to be happy with that.
How about that? September Flanagan, 4 home runs from 4 different hitters in this game. Boyer's got 1, Kripe's got 1. Now Flanagan and Bagshaw's got a home run. And speaking of which, Bagshaw at the plate. That's another shot. And that will be held to a single, but Bagshaw gets a hit as the hits starting to pile up for the Jayhawks.
And unfortunate for BYU, At the beginning of this inning, it's 5-2, and now they're looking at almost getting into that run rule trouble, where if they don't make something happen at the bottom of the 6th inning, they could be beat by run rule.
So it'll be Haley Schuler coming out of the game, and coming back into the game for BYU will be the starting pitcher in this game, Jada Villegas. So Villegas will get a couple warm-up pitches here, with the score now 10-2. Home run after home run after home run. Wow, it has been on display for this Jayhawk team. Villegas had a nice start to this game, pitched well for the first 2 innings, held Kansas scoreless, and then things got away a little bit in the 3rd. After that Boyer home run, she went back to the dugout, and then the Jayhawks have just been lights out ever since. Let's see if she can capture a little bit of that magic she had in the first 2 innings.
And of the pitchers that Kansas has seen from BYU, they've seen the least out of Jada Villegas after seeing Haley Schuler for all 7 innings yesterday, and then several innings today, and then also Gianna Mates on Thursday through most of the innings. So it's just hard for them to have to come back into today's game and shut down Kansas when they've seen them so much. So I think the best option for BYU right now is to turn to Jada Villegas and try and get out of this inning and minimize the numerous damage that's already been done.
So 2 outs. As we've been stuck here at 2 outs for a while, and BYU just can't seem to get that 3rd. Villegas at the mound for BYU. Stafford at the plate. There's the pitch, just a bit outside, and the count now moves to 2-0. Stafford drew a walk in her second at-bat, grounded out the last at-bat she had. That one's inside, but the strike still given to Villegas, and the count now 2-1. Outside, count now 3-1 for Villegas.
And Coach McFalls was just waiting for that string of hits to happen for her team, and they sure have made it happen in this inning. It is contagious. Someone gets a hit, and it just kind of builds, especially for such a hit-contagious team anyways that Kansas is.
And there's Stafford with the single, and that advances the runner to second. So now 2 on here in the top of the 6th with the score 10-2. And Stafford, her second hit of the night.
And a staggering 14 hits in just today's game. Kansas is really on BYU pitching.
You know, the pitching had been really good for BYU, all things considered, with the injuries and the work that they've had to do the first 2 games of this series. But things have certainly gotten away from the Cougars here in game number 3, with the Jayhawks leading 10-2, and as you mentioned, 14 hits in this game. Play will be made at second, and that finally gets the Cougars out of the inning. But boy, was the damage done. 5 runs in the top of the 6th. Cougars at the plate. When we come back, you are watching Big 12 softball on ESPN. 10-2 the score. Kansas leading BYU by 8. And let's explain that 8-run rule that might lead to an early finish in this game.
Yep, Kansas up 8 after 5. If BYU doesn't make something happen in these next 3 outs and put a number on the board, then Kansas is going to walk away with this one, ending the game early.
Kansas has 11 games this year that they've ended early, which goes to show the offensive prowess that they've had throughout the course of the season. Fabella wants no part of that. She's at the plate, and she pops this one up. Will it stay in play? No, it will not. Reaches the first row here at Gell Miller Field, and the count now 1-1.
And what a change it's been in just the last inning. I mean, a 3-run deficit that BYU was chasing to all of a sudden an 8-run deficit makes it way tougher and kind of takes away a little bit of that, any energy that they had going into this game. They're really going to have to dig deep to keep themselves out of that run rule.
Fabella, the freshman for BYU, hitting .238 on the season. And now the count moves to 3-1. Chloe Barber, who's had herself a heck of a night pitching, got in trouble a little bit early with the walks, but since has settled in and has held BYU scoreless over the last 2 innings. That's a shot. And coming underneath it is Limbaugh for out number 1 of the inning. Again, good contact by Fabella, just not enough to get it over the fence.
And like you said, Barber, we've seen her get stronger throughout today's game. A little shaky at first with the 5 walks early on. But I will say for BYU, she has only tallied 3 strikeouts, which is pretty impressive because she really is that more at least 1 strikeout an inning pitcher. So BYU doing a good job handling someone like her, just struggling to find the gaps and to get hits. Even though they've had 6, they would need a little bit more to compete with the offense that Kansas is producing.
Danica Acosta, the hero in last night's game with a walk-off home run, trying to keep the Cougars alive in this one. 1 down, up in the count, 2-0 against Chloe Barber. Danica Acosta has got 2 hits in this game and 1 RBI. So she's had herself a tremendous series. And now the count is 3-0. Barber, her ERA now at 2.77 on the season. Wow, done a tremendous job. Strike there, 3-1 the count.
And a smart take from Danica Acosta. BYU needs base runners, especially in this inning. So she really wants to be patient up there and make Barber bring the ball to her.
Here's the pitch. Acosta launches this one. Is it deep enough? You bet it is. Danica Acosta, she's not going away quietly in the night. She gets the home run and keeps the Cougars alive in this game. Back-to-back home runs in back-to-back games.
And Danica Acosta, coming into this series with no home runs on the year, now pulls out another one. And that's going to be what it takes to get BYU into at least 1 more inning and hopefully spark some energy in that dugout to start ticking away at that 7-run lead that Kansas has.
So that gets BYU out of an early run issue, cuts the lead to 7, 10-3, which will mean that we will have 7 innings, and now Barber having a meeting at the mound, and I believe that they probably will go to the bullpen now. Barber overall a tremendous outing for the Jayhawks. Lily Owens will be up to bat, and yes, we will have a trip to the bullpen for the Jayhawks. Barber hands the ball off, and just like that, her night has come to an end, as into the game for the Kansas Jayhawks is Lizzie Ludwig, the senior right-handed pitcher.
And we've seen a little bit from her in past games, and she does a really good job. I think so smart of Kansas, even though they have a 7-run lead to work with, to switch it up a little bit on BYU. They know the history of this BYU team, and they're not going to go down easy. They're not going to go down quiet, especially in a conference series as important as this one is.
And with Lily Owens at the plate, you know that she can generate something very quickly. So if you're Barber, you hold your head high, you take a deep breath, you go over to the dugout, you have a good view of Kansas trying to park this car in the driveway and get out of BYU with a 2-1 series advantage. Jennifer McFalls comes back to the dugout. You can't say enough about her as a coach. You and I had a chance to sit down and chat with her earlier in the week, and just a tremendous person, tremendous believer in Kansas softball, and saying that, you know, the community's really starting to rally behind the softball team as well. Of course, in Kansas, it's all been about the basketball team and Darren Peterson and what's gone on there with that basketball squad with Bill Self and others. But she's like, hey, we want people to know that there's a softball team here as well that's having themselves one heck of a season. And they have done just that. So Lizzie Ludwig, who's got a 2.79 ERA on the season, will take the mound.
And the pitching switch also shows, too, what McFalls talked to us about. She knows that BYU is a scrappy team, and their record doesn't necessarily reflect the type of team they are, too. So she's being cautious and really doing what she can to switch it up against BYU and make sure that they don't have a nice little comeback right here.
Owens attempts the bunt. Count now is 0-1. Owens has got power. She also has exceptional speed. As Ludwig fires one in for a strike, 1-1 the count. Ludwig delivers, and it's ball number 2, 2-1 the count. Ludwig from Illinois, 6'3", probably the tallest pitcher in the Big 12. Shot won't stay in play though. Owens with some good contact as it sails over the line and out of play.
And Lily Owens is due herself 0 for 3 this game. She's a great hitter for BYU. Definitely looking to find her first hit of the game in this at-bat.
So Ludwig at the mound. And the ball tipped, and it will be 2-2 the count. Owens trying to get some contact here after the home run from Acosta. Here comes the pitch. Taken, throw to first in time, and that is the second out of the inning. Lily Owens fast, not fast enough to get that throw out from Flanagan to Souls to get the out.
That ball was a little bit low. You see she had to reach for it, pulled it a little bit to that left side, so it just was lacking a little bit of that power. And Lily Owens going down in that at-bat.
Haley Schuler, her night may be done as a pitcher, but she's still at the plate for BYU. And she has put in a lot of work in this series. In the batting lineup in all 3 games, the starting pitcher in last night's game threw well over 100 pitches in a complete game win. And then tonight came in relief and threw a significant amount of pitches in this game as well.
You know she'll have a good night's sleep tonight.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Lizzie Ludwig with the pitch. Count moves to 2-1. So we mentioned after this one, BYU hits the road. They will be in Lubbock taking on the second-ranked Red Raiders of Texas Tech. For Kansas, they'll return home for a 3-game set beginning on Thursday with Arizona State. Count now at 3-1. Haley Schuler, 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Kansas leading 10-3. Ludwig delivers, swing and a miss. 3-2, the count is full for Schuler, trying to stay alive here in the second. Bottom of the 6th inning. BYU trailing 10-3, and Schuler strikes out. Lizzie Ludwig gets the strikeout, and that will bring us to the top of the 7th when we come back. It is BYU trailing Kansas. The Jayhawks have put on a display from the plate tonight. 4 home runs for the Jayhawks. They lead this game 10-3 on ESPN. Come on back, Gale Miller Field, final inning in this one as Kansas looking to pad their lead, leading this game 10-3. Villegas, her second outing in this game, delivers the pitch. Chopper taken, throw to first, and in time. Acosta doing a good job tracking that one down, flips it over to Udall Woolley for out number 1.
And so heads up of Udall Woolley to not go diving after that ball because she knows she has Danica Acosta behind her to grab that. Instead, doing what she needs to do and get herself back to first base to take the throw.
So we mentioned Udall Woolley, her first appearance in this series. Did not play in game 1 and game 2. Took over for first base in this game. Pitch delivered by Villegas, 0-1 the count.
And a little bit of a defensive change for BYU. Miranda Mansfield now playing third base rather than Bree Townsend.
Mansfield's been used a couple times in this series as a pinch runner. Villegas delivers ball 1, 1-1 the count. 14 hits in this game for the Kansas Jayhawks, 4 of those home runs. Outside for Villegas, count now moves to 2-1.
And we talked about for BYU how they've had 9 runners left on base. Well, also on the Kansas side, they've had 7 left on base and still manufactured 10 runs out of that. So just shows you what a offensive powerhouse of a team they've been in today's game.
And the chopper taken at first. Udall Woolley will take care of that all by herself. Steps on to first base. Presley Limbaugh, who had 3 consecutive hits, unable to connect on that one.
And I think this is just what BYU needs to set themselves up going into the bottom of the 7th inning. They're chasing a lot of runs, but if they can quiet Kansas right now and be 3 up, 3 down, I think that's going to give them that little bit of energy boost that they need to go after those 7 runs they have to chase.
That brings Ella Boyer, who, enough said in this one, a home run in this game, and has done just all kinds of damage for BYU. Villegas with the pitch, and it gets past Villegas, finds the gap near the second base line, and will make its way in for a single. And why not, as Boyer just keeps padding the stats in this series.
And if I saw that correctly, I think that ricocheted off of Jada Villegas's back, maybe just slightly. I think the umpire went and checked on her after the play. That was a well-hit ball by Ella Boyer.
So, with that, runner on first for Kansas. 10-3 the score. Jayhawks lead by 7. 2 down here for Villegas, just trying to get out of the inning and see if BYU can pull off some miracles here in the bottom of the 7th. Villegas outside, ball 1. Kripe, who had a home run and a double in this game. Another pitch outside, ball number 2. Like the comments from Jennifer McFalls, who said, you know, you got the freshman in Boyer, you've got the veteran in Kripe, and both of them just kind of played off each other nicely. Batting 2-3 in the lineup.
And we should make note, too, a pinch runner has come in for Ella Boyer at first base. Maddie Hayes is going to be the pinch runner.
Two on the count. Hayes at first base. Looks to get a quick jump. But the count now even at 2 apiece. Kripe digs in again. The pitch. Kripe trying to steal a base, and she, well, no, it's a walk. And that, it hit her. There we go. Sorry, it came off a hit batsman. And so with that, I was looking at the speed of the first, trying to steal second, but the pitch goes off the hitter. And just like that, now we got first and second with 2 outs. Yep, got her right on the elbow, right on the pad.
And a little double whammy right there. I think ricochets off of Haley Kripe and into the leg of Fabella, catching for BYU.
This one will sail foul for Kansas. Anna Souls at the plate. Two outs, Kansas trying to add to the lead. Pitch inside. Count 1-1.
That was not a bad spot, just barely from Jada Villegas. That tight inside corner on a lefty, barely missing that strike call.
Villegas delivers, and Udall Woolley will end the inning. Snags the ground ball, touches first, gets the force out, and it's a 7-run lead for the Jayhawks coming up in the bottom of the 7th. Do the Cougars have any miracles up their sleeve? We'll find out coming up next. This is Big 12 Softball from ESPN. Off we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. BYU's got some work to do. Down 10-3 as the Jayhawks looking for a big win here to close out this series with a 2-1 advantage after winning game 1, dropping a heartbreaker in game 2. As this one fouled away by Brittingham. Jayhawks will open up the series in Lawrence coming up next week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday games against the Sun Devils of Arizona State. As we mentioned, BYU on their way to Lubbock to take on Texas Tech, who's just had a monstrous season so far this year. Kind of as you would expect from Texas Tech. Lizzie Ludwig, the pitcher. Pitch coming in, 0-2 against Brittingham. Elovea Brittingham sizing up Ludwig, the pitch. Ball 1, 1-2 the count.
And Danica Acosta, going back to last inning, really coming up big with that home run to give BYU another chance in this 7th inning to have a little bit of a comeback. Gonna have to put their rally caps on. They're chasing a lot of runs. But I've seen crazy things on this BYU field, and you can't put anything past the Cougars.
Well, Brittingham gets hit with a strikeout. So 1 down, and now Kansas just 2 outs away from getting the win here in Provo. Brittingham takes a seat, gets hit with the K. Ludwig's now got 2 on the game in relief action. Now Haley Morrow at the plate. Morrow drew a walk in her first at-bat, got a hit in her second. And the count now 2-0.
And a big focus for this BYU team is to fight, and to fight no matter what. I mean, whether they score some runs this inning or not, a few well-hit balls and some energy from the dugout would be huge for them as they're trying to make a little bit of something happen and show their coach that they're here and they're here to fight.
As for the Kansas Jayhawks, you knew that the cage had been rattled after giving up that win in game 2, and this team came in as the favorite, as one of the best teams in the Big 12, and they've been acting like it. Playing a little bit of bully ball, especially in some of the innings, really roughing up BYU with 4 home runs in this game. Bottom of the 7th, 1 out, 3-1 the count. Ludwig against Haley Morrow. And Morrow gets a hit. She'll get to first. And Morrow, her second hit of the game. So the Cougars said, hey, look, we're still showing a pulse here.
And Morrow has just been fantastic defensively, offensively, finds a good gap right there by second base. She does a good job of hitting the ball anywhere on the field. You can't really set up in one specific spot for her. She sprays the field really well with her hits.
Tristan Turlington, the senior, stepping up to the plate. And she'll foul this one away. Turlington, the pinch runner who scored off the steal in game number 1 as a pinch runner. Her first at-bat in this series. And the count now 0-2. Turlington watches ball 1, 1-2 the count. Got to imagine down 0-2, that's tough to watch a pitch come in.
Oh, yeah.
Turlington waits for the pitch, gets underneath this one, pops it up, and that will be out number 2 as Kripe easily able to pull down the catch, get the out, and we're now 1 out away from this game being over. Lizzie Ludwig, 24 pitches thrown in this game, coming in for Chloe Barber, who was just fantastic. After giving up a couple walks, she settled in and really dominated right up until she gave up that home run to Acosta. But this pitching staff has been on display in this series. They've been great. Arincho, the batter, getting some opportunities here in the bottom of the 7th. And 1-1 the count.
BYU now down to their final out of this series, but it could have looked just a little bit different. You take away that one bad inning, it would be a 5-3 ball game, and I think we'd be feeling a lot differently and feeling the pressure more than we feel it right now, with BYU just 1 out left to score 7 runs to at least tie up the game.
2-1 the count as Lizzie Ludwig delivers the pitch. And a chopper finds the gap. That's her first hit of the season. So congratulations, I believe that's her first hit on the season. Yes. Actually, second hit of the season, excuse me.
First hit on her home field.
Yeah, how about that? Advances the runner, so runners at first and second with 2 outs. And that will bring Udall Woolley to the plate. Udall Woolley hitting .224 on the season, 10 RBI. She'd love to come up with 1 or 2 here. The pitch fouled off. Count even at 1 apiece. Udall Woolley at the plate. Lizzie Ludwig set to deliver. The pitch fouled off again. 1-2 the count. Jayhawks and Cougars. We saw so much drama in game 1, game 2. And Taylor, as you mentioned, with those 5 runs in the 6th, pretty much eliminated any chance for drama here. Force out at second. That brings us to an end as Kansas gets a dominating 10-3 victory in game number 3 of the series, winning the rubber match and getting a 2-1 series win over the Cougars here in Provo. BYU picks up another loss in Big 12 play. Kansas rights the ship after giving up a really dramatic victory in last night's game. But they, again, show why they're one of the better teams in the Big 12. For Taylor Williams and our crew, I'm Scott Gerard saying so long from Provo, Utah. Final score, Kansas gets the 10-3 victory. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.